All right, let's dive right in. Today we're going to unpack a story that really gets to the heart of something important. The difference between just looking good on the surface and having real, true value. It's all about understanding the roots of a person's character.
And this quote, this is everything. Just think about it for a second. It's not about the person who just says, "Oh, what pretty petals." It's about the one who actually gets down in the dirt and protects the roots, the foundation, the life source. It's about seeing past the obvious and valuing what truly matters.
So, this powerful idea comes to us from a story by the wonderful writer Dr. Sharad Thakur, and it's a story that really makes you think about surface beauty versus what's actually strong and real underneath.
Okay, let's get into it. I want you to picture this, a packed, suffocatingly crowded college bus. And on this bus, we meet our main character, Anshika. She's incredibly beautiful, which you'd think is a gift, but in this setting, it's about to become a huge liability.
So as the bus is jolting around, two guys, Sonu and Monu, they start harassing her. They use the chaos of the crowd as their cover. And what's so devastating about this is that feeling of being surrounded by dozens of people, but being completely, utterly alone and unprotected. It's a horrible feeling.
But then, someone sees. An older man, Venu uncle, is watching. And he doesn't just look away. He sees the injustice in her eyes. And when that bus finally stops, he steps up. He doesn't just scold the boys, oh no. He delivers what the story calls a system correction. He becomes her shield when absolutely no one else would. He was the witness she desperately needed.
Okay, now let's fast forward a few years. Anshika is all grown up, still stunning, and, you guessed it, she's got a line of guys wanting to marry her. But here's the twist. She rejects every single one of them. And because of this, she gets a reputation for being cold, difficult, basically an ice queen.
And this is where it gets really interesting, right? This huge gap between how the world sees her and what's actually going on in her head. Everyone's whispering that she's arrogant and prideful, but in her reality, she was being sovereign. She was being selective. She wasn't just rejecting guys, she was performing a deep, serious soul audit.
You see, it was never about finding a match based on a checklist of wealth or status. Nope, she was looking for something much, much deeper, an intangible quality that she called the fabric.
And this brings us to the moment of truth. Because guess who shows up at her door one day? Venu uncle. Yeah, the very same man who defended her on that bus. And he's there with a proposal of his own. For his son.
And you can just feel the tension in this question, can't you? He's almost timid about it. He asks her, will you meet him? Or will you reject us like you've rejected everyone else? He is fully prepared for her to say no.
And then her answer just floors him. It's stunning. Without a second of hesitation, she says yes. She doesn't even need to meet the man. Why? Because she already has all the data she needs. She has seen the source. She knows the family's character.
So what on earth does she mean by the yard? Well, think of it like a person's source code. It's their upbringing, their core values, the moral environment they grew up in. It is the fundamental ground from which their character grows.
Which of course brings us to the fabric. If the yard is a source, the fabric is the final product. It's the actual material of a person's character, woven together with threads of integrity, courage, and that one crucial value she saw with her own two eyes, protection.
And that right there is the big reveal of this whole story. Her rejections were never about arrogance. They were an act of sovereignty. She understood her own immense worth, and she knew deep in her bones that only someone cut from a fabric of true integrity could ever be her equal.
So that's a beautiful story, but what can we actually take away from it? How does this apply to our own lives? Let's break down some of the key lessons here.
Okay, first, the fabric matters. A person's character is not random. It comes from a source. It's built on values. Second, and this is a big one, protection is a language of love. A true partner isn't about status, it's about their willingness to be your shield in a chaotic world. And finally, learn to recognize the yes of certainty. When you can see someone's yard, their source code, you often don't need 1,000 meetings to know their soul.
And this is the message I really hope you carry with you. Listen, if you hold high standards for the people you let into your life, the world might call you arrogant or difficult. Let them. You aren't being difficult. You are being selective. You are honoring your own worth. You're conducting your own soul audit.
Because in the end, it's about waiting for a soul that's cut from the same fabric of truth as you are. And that brings us to this final, really powerful idea. captured in the Sanskrit phrase Satyamev Jayate. It means truth alone triumphs, always.